the big news for me is that I've identified a sex accumulating fart coin like you wouldn't believe. I think fart coin is going to be the next breakout hit.
You reckon? Wow. Okay.
It's just because it doesn't need a meme. It's like it's funny because it's fart coin. People are looking at it because it's going up 67% increase in holders in the last week. Look at the chart. It's like nuts.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. That one is nuts, man.
Yeah.
It's
That's
one of those,
the
it's one of those things that you
absolute.
start
Yeah.
feeling that you miss out a lot of trades and things like that, right? Is that feeling? I'm pretty sure a lot of people here relate. But you cannot catch them all, right? Like it's one of those things. Is just chill out. It's gonna be a lot of opportunities. But that one
It's
looks
going to be
fantastic, man. Looks pretty
that
good.
one looks fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been getting nicely positioned for months and months and months, right? Cool as a cucumber. I have an exact plan. I know exactly where I'm doing what I'm. But this weekend, I really got FOMO for the first time. This weekend,
Really?
Only this weekend. Only this
really,
weekend. Really?
genuinely, I had that. I'm fucking under collateralized. Wife, sell your gold. You know, like it really got me this weekend. I didn't do anything daft, hands off the wheel, you know, but
You didn't get your wife to cash in the gold because yeah, I did that once and and I've gotten shit for it for years later.
Oh, it's not worth the yeah. I mean that shows the level of desperation. But look, here's the Bitcoin chart, right? And I think right now there's not really a lot to say. We are in price discovery. We are cooling off at the moment. There's no real pullbacks here. There's just there's a little bit of selling and it's getting snapped up as soon as it's sold.
So what's causing this is a double whammy. The first whammy is that before the election, a lot of people had hedges on. A lot of people like me took their short trades off, took some of their aggressive long trades off because it could have gone either way, right? And now I saw that and I thought, oh fuck, I'm not buying into that. Fuck, I'll give it another couple of days. I'll buy the first pullback, and then the first pullback never came, and I'm still out of the leverage market. So our total leverage isn't insane. Like I think the next dip is something we should be hoping for, and it should be a.
And then we have a huge psychological number, $100,000 that is approaching. So,
dude, it's gonna get there. Like it's gonna get there. Like probably not this week, but like inside of 2 weeks, we're at 100. And I mean, considering where we were like 2 weeks ago, we were like huffing and puffing around 60. I mean, that's a big difference.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
It is. I mean, it's this is the point where the kind of the euphoric feelings can start too early because you're sat here thinking, well, all I can see is upside here.
Well, let's be honest, we're overdue for trading is quite difficult right now because we're overdue for a pullback. If we get a pullback, alts are going to get absolutely cunted. But we're also in exactly the sort of position that if an alt season starts and runs away, it's going to start from here. So it's very, very difficult to trade right now because like you've got to juggle those two things. Like the two most likely outcomes are fucking alt season or all the alts 10x from here and the best of them 50x. And Bitcoin drops 20% and alts get cunted 35% and memes get cunted 50%. And those two outcomes are just like completely inconsistent with each other. And we don't know. And like people who pretend that they know just don't know. Right.
Definitely. And that's what I was last week because obviously the leverage is very difficult because you can either gonna get stopped out or you can get the plays up, you know what I mean? But I think what we have that and that range, I think Bitcoin could isolate on that range, and that will provide a lot of opportunities for small scalps and things like that. But then what I've decided, like obviously spot will be the best way to go in these situations, because essentially if you buy spot, we know that at the end of, there's a highly likelihood that Bitcoin will end up in 100K with this kind of market conditions, right? And you don't see massive sell-off. You know what I mean?
I ran the math, and it looks like about a 42% chance based on the option distribution curve. On the option curves, it's pricing in about 42% area under the curve. 40% area under the curve to 42, depending on how you run the model. By the end of November for 100K. So that's what it's pricing in.
Yeah, it is impressive. Every time that you see Bitcoin sort of pulling off, then you get buyers, which is interesting, right? Very interesting.
Well, because everyone feels like they've missed out, right?
Definitely. I can definitely see. Let me just share. Let me just. Do you have anything else, Ian, or do you want me to go through? Do you want me through?
Yeah, you take it.
Stop. Let me just start with Bitcoin. Because yeah, in terms of what I see, obviously this range, the same range that Ian sort of drew, I think, as the range. I think if we go back to 85, we could see something like the 80. That will be really a big pullback and a lot of the leveraging, things like that. But in the last sort of flush, let me just make this bigger. Yeah, in the last flush, we actually got a lot of liquidation sort of reset it in a way. Let me just show you this.
So what is the CVD? What is the one of those CVDs that's going up that you just had the second one from the top?
Yep. Someone in the chat actually mentioned that one, and we've been on normal for ages.
Oh,
yeah.
Whoa.
So
are you on this one? Because I'm not on it.
Yeah, we're on it. A while back,
fuck.
since February, we are in this trade. So we took some.
No.
I saw half de-risking, unfortunately, of course, but then obviously we added into C-Pool and other RWS. I'll talk about it because this is pretty good in terms of what you might see in terms of the RWS space. So there's some, like if you missed there could be other plays that we are on it as well, and they could actually do really, really well. So this sector, but it looks pretty. Yeah, I was looking at FDV and the fully diluted value at and now it looks a little bit dodgy in a way. Like it looks like it could be manipulated, could be, but could be that. Let's go through the chat because I think I was looking at it and actually, yeah, it's one of my favorites in terms of RWA, and it's looking pretty good. So yeah, we enter in February, and then obviously we got the shit, and then we did a second entry here on July, and yeah, I think this one was the leader. It did a partnership with Ondo, and so this one I can definitely see that this one could go higher. So let me talk about the RWA sort of stuff and things that we are on the RWA space, because I think this and the AI could be the next narrative, especially in how doing these kind of things. So with so in terms of the RWA, this is not there. Yeah, a bunch of studies are finally kicking off. So in terms of the RWA, we are in Ondo, which is doing not as well as I was expected, but I think I'm still thinking to get something off the table in Ondo, probably towards, I don't know, they do have, unlocks happening. So that's, yeah, I haven't done much with We took some before the election, but actually we went into C-Pool. So C-Pool, I think, will be the next sort of wave in terms of the RWAs. And we actually added in checks. So checks were a little bit under, but I think if you sort of want to get exposure into the RWAs, I think checks could be a good option, right? It could actually, follow the sector in a way. It is kind of at the best sort of strongest sort of narratives in RWA right now. So long term, I think this one will do definitely, especially C-Pool and checks. They're pretty interesting projects, really interesting projects. So I think they will basically be the leaders. So yeah, good news in terms of Ondo, man. Like look at this thing, man. Yeah, what a great trade, man. So I'm happy with the portfolio. And other things that are working well from things that we holding. Finally, freaking Foxy is giving some sign of life. So he's getting there. I think Foxy is going to do really, really well. So you still have, like, you can still buy that one. I was doing a leverage trade on Foxy that I got stopped out last week. So that's why I think leverage is going to be really funny if we have any sort of pullbacks. We got into Sundog probably around this one, around here. Yeah, we are probably around here. I don't have the entry for some reason, but I think we're up like 60%, like 20% on this one. So, and Sundog, I think, is going to do really, really well. Looking into the TRX sort of ecosystem and things like that. So Sundog is sort of getting there. Once it breaks above, I think this one is gonna run. So this is one of the things, if Bitcoin gets to 100K, all these meme coins are just going to be through the roof. Like they're going to pump like crazy, man, because now what you can see is all the liquidity is actually meme sector. And then it's just like a liquidity sponges, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy, man. All the stuff that the memes, the kind of fashion that these ones are doing. Mock is finally working as well, so it's kind of breaking out all-time highs now. So Mock is doing really well as well. So, and Pepe, of course, man. Pepe is Pepe. So Pepe, yeah, Pepe.
I mean, Pepe. So the thesis on Pepe is threefold. One, Ethereum BTC has been the worst performing asset ever, and it's the people who've been short that have been short for 2 fucking years. They might get tired of holding that in a bull market and exit their shorts. That gives a boost to Ethereum compared to Bitcoin, and simultaneously we've got Pepe being a Robinhood listed, Coinbase listed, fucking normie friendly meme that's not going anywhere. It's not some fucking chicken with cock that people have never heard of. It's like Pepe is the most normie friendly meme for under 40-year-old men. Absolutely not even close. And who are the guys who get onboarded in bull markets are under 40-year-old men. And we've got, if you think that Ethereum is going to go up, that Ethereum's been hated on so bad that it's going to go up, you want the coin with the most beta to Ethereum, and the coin with the most beta is its most volatile meme coin, and that's Pepe. And what we're seeing is the larger memes, Doge, Pepe, Bonk, Flocky even doing better than the others. And fucking Pepe is the second, one of the largest memes, like besides Doge and Shiba, it's one of the largest.
And Pepe hasn't actually had its run yet. So it did have, like, in terms of what happened last week, yeah, it did have a massive push, but you see all the sort of meme stuff that actually just went ballistic, like WIF, I think we're in WIF as well. Yeah, we're in WIF, and we did well on that one. We're still doing well, and I think all meme stuff, all this, especially the strong stuff, is going to do well. So yeah, we were well positioned. So far we're doing great. Like, and things that I'm looking into, meme stuff, right? Like, we're not on Flocky, but Flocky could be the next one that is going to be listed in Coinbase. I don't know if this one has been. I'm doing sort of like a small list of things that could potentially be listed on Coinbase, because you see what that influx of capital will do to these things, right? So obviously we saw Wave, right, doing this thing when got listed on Coinbase. Pepe, same deal. But I think Flocky could be the next one. Mog, I've seen that there could be opportunities that Mog will be listed on Coinbase. There's a bunch of stuff in terms of if we see some other meme stuff that are going to be listed on Coinbase, will be really, really good holds. So yeah, looking good, man. Like market's looking fantastically well, man. Obviously, I'm aware of the pullback, right? And that's kind of where everything's at. So that's why I think it needs to be another catalyst or something, just to either, yeah, that's where I'm at in terms of leverage. You know, I'm sort of taking out the leverage a little bit. But yeah, in terms of this week, what I'm looking is AI stuff. So I did talk about it last week because we have the NVIDIA earnings this week on Wednesday. So more than likely, a lot of the AI stuff correlates to that prior the earnings and stuff like that. So all the AI things that I'm looking at is a spec, Tau, of course, and spec. We went into a leverage trade. We almost got stopped out, but we sort of like that. This could actually look really well. And then Tau, Nia, IO, ATH, Athena as well. They could do pretty well on the back of Ethereum, but I really want to get a portfolio into the small caps, AI agents kind of thing. So I might, this week, guys, start a new portfolio with this. This is highly risky in a way, not highly risky. It's micro caps in a way, or small caps, and obviously they could do really, really well. But every time that you get a flush out, they could get your portfolio could go down. So just allocate whatever you want to allocate with higher risky stuff. So. And yeah, keep sort of Neural, man, like Neural, how strong is this thing, man? Like, so I've been trying to get into Neural, like see if a pullback. Now it's in price discovery. This thing is not listed on any exchange yet. The project is fantastic. I think this one could actually do really well. I'm looking at EMP as well. EMP, it looks pretty okay-ish. Also very, very close to all-time highs here from this perspective. We have NQ AI as well. I have Ola's agent and Guru. I forgot to add Guru yesterday, man. Missed this one. Guru. Yeah, Guru is doing great, and this is a really good project as well in terms of the AI agent ecosystem. So I'm looking at those ones, especially for today, for next week. So I'll keep you updated. But this is kind of the small caps. Guru is the first one that actually got listed on Mexi. So yeah, that's my plan for this week, man. That is going to be interesting. But obviously, I'm still aware of that we could see a little bit of a pullback. Or we might not. That's where I'm trying to sort of point out. But yeah, it's like you said, Scott, it's a tough one, right? It's one of those things that very hard to measure. Very hard to measure.
Yeah, have you seen a podcast called Flirting with Models, Maurizio?
Yes. Yes.
I'm going on this week.
Oh yeah, all right, it'll be cool, man. That'll be cool. That'll be cool. That's a really good podcast, definitely. Okay.
It's like the most prestigious super nerd podcast in finance, and they're inviting me on.
That's great, man. That's great.
Gonna get a shock.
I'll follow it up, definitely, man. That would be fun. That would be cool. That would be cool. All right. So yeah, essentially, another thing that I wanted to show you guys is, you guys have seen this, which is my new projects. So the projects that have been actually launched this year, right? In terms of the spaghetti charts.
Oh, this is so cool, man.
And this is how I tracked it. Like obviously Drift, Camino, all that sort of stuff is based on this. So you just basically add all the new projects that actually happen in here, and then because I think new projects will have the most of upside. That's my
Can you dig into that a little bit for the people who are perhaps a bit new here?
Okay, fair
Why
enough.
this
So
is so.
because the main reason a crypto is an attention sort of economy in a way, right? So obviously, if we have projects that has been going on, let's talk about, I don't know, let's talk about ADA, right? ADA was hot. It was a new technology a while back, right? Oh, look at this thing, man. Holy shit. Anyway, but
I fucking hate this project.
I know,
God,
man.
what a
I know.
cunt of a
Now look
thing.
at this thing, man. But anyway, let's talk about our old project, right? Like this is Cardano, right? And this is on
Don't
20.
go buying Cardano, guys. Like
Don't buy
this.
Cardano. This is what happens in 2021, and obviously after
Reach $50 billion.
the drop, right? We're talking about 91%, but it still drop a lot. Let's talk about another project. Let's talk about Sand. Sand was really hard in terms of Sand in the back end of the day was like the meta universe and all that sort of stuff.
Sand
Everything
was my most profitable single trade at that time.
Mine too. Sand was.
Can we just go back to my exit, which was like 2 days from the top? It was the top on Sand BTC. It posted this big boner candle on BTC, and I exited the whole lot at. Do me a favor, load up Sand BTC chart.
Sure. Let's use abundance. There you go.
The very top.
Right here.
Right here. And if you didn't have that on a log scale, it would look if you change the scale to regular scale.
I think that's on regular scale. No, that's never mind. Yeah, now it's regular. Yep.
Yeah, and you can see the big boner candle, and we exited at that close.
Yep.
And that's a high that stood for 1,000,000 years.
And look at this, like so.
This is just glorious.
So this is kind of the narrative, right? So obviously crypto came in, now you have all these new projects. Now you have this new narrative of the meta unit, the universe, the meta, what is it? Meta universe, shit like that. Anyway, so you start having all this ecosystem of projects that actually allow you to play on the meta universe or whatever, and then obviously this went through the roof. Now, when everything went the metaverse, there you go, metaverse, there. Can that one still come back? That probably, right? Probably. But the fact is, because crypto is an attention thing, so obviously everyone wants to buy, and that's when you get all these sort of pumps, right? Like you get this fear of missing out, like we were talking at the beginning.
And how much of this do you think is people seriously running their eye over old projects, and how much of it do you think is normies going, oh shit, I got to buy some crypto, I'll buy some BTC, some Solana, some ADA, and some fucking XRP? Because those were the 4 biggest coins that normies have heard of, right?
Exactly.
And Litecoin probably too. But if you buy Litecoin, you have to defriend, you have to like fuck off out of here now, because that shit is so gay.
Correct. And you get Dodge, for instance, but Dodge is a different story right now because of what happened through the election and everything, right? So that's an exception. But you can have SHIB, you can have all the stuff that actually was new, and that was the stuff that was pumping, right? So essentially, there is, throughout this year or the last year, November, December, you have a bunch of new projects and new technology launching, new like infrastructure coins, stuff that are actually quite interesting, right? That doesn't mean that Sand wasn't interested back in the day, but it's not interested now. Why? Because now you have to follow what the narratives are, and the narratives are, RWA, right? Like the real world asset sort of things, AI or AI infrastructure, AI projects. Now we have AI agents. I think AI agents is going to be a freaking huge market. You have all the meme sector that now you have memes. You have all the Solana memes that didn't exist back here. In 2021, that thing didn't exist. Solana wasn't that strong back on the. It was strong, but let me show you Solana. So Solana is so all this stuff that is happening, right? Change the narratives of crypto. So with that being said, let me show you Solana. So Solana, obviously at the top, came out at 260 on 2021, and then also start coming down. Solana didn't have the infrastructure that it had back in the day. Now Solana has come back really strong. Now it has a really good infrastructure. It has a good chain. It has a good, huge amount of developers. So, and a lot of stuff is being built on top of Solana, right? So that's why this one is actually come back. That's why ADA, I don't think is going to, you might have those bumps, but I don't think they will be sustainable because there's not a lot of people developing on ADA or on DOT or on all those old chains that I actually created a while back. So with that being,
EOS was the hot thing, remember?
EOS, funny enough, I think it has, let's talk about EOS because I think EOS can have a comeback. It can. They're doing something really interesting.
62 cents, it was $15.
Exactly. So it's
no, it was $30 at some point, wasn't it?
Correct. Let's have a look. Now the biggest, like the highest was actually, well, this thing was actually listed and came out at $15 on listing price. So on listing day, it was listed at 12, went up all the way to 15, and now it's 60 cents. Right? No, it came back, like the lowest thing that this thing can have ever been is like 20 cents. Okay. So with that being said, it's one of those things that some of these projects, especially now we're going to have the bull run and stuff like that, and there's a highly likelihood that everything pumps up, but then at some point things will drop. People will take profits, projects will cash out, all that sort of stuff. So it's going to be that massive flush out in a way, call it that way, right? So we have to be mindful on that. So that's to explain what I've done here with the spaghetti chat. So at the end of the day, I took all the projects that actually were launched from February this year, right? Which is the newest airdrops, the new projects that are launching, new things that are being listed, and you basically correlated with Bitcoin in a way, right? So there is a high likelihood that when all these new projects start getting attention, then they will be outperforming Bitcoin because that's the new stuff, that's the new things, that's the new narratives, right? So that's the whole purpose of this spaghetti chart only, and sort of tracking what's hot, and whatever is hot is gonna get attention. Whatever gets attention, more than likely people will ape into it because obviously they're gonna miss the boat, and then if we're positioned early, I think we'll do well. Why? We picked up drift like that, right? So drift, I talk about, you can go back to my videos for probably, I don't know, a month back or something, and we're tracking drift, Camino, and just on the base of this, very, very simple, right? Right, they outperforming Bitcoin, and as new launches come along, as a new project come along, I'm gonna be added into this here, and then I'll be tracking this. So what's sort of ready to break now? I'm looking at this one here, spec. There you go. So that's my reasoning, and there is a lot of speculation about the AI. He's sort of starting to outperform Bitcoin, so I think that's why I went into a leverage position on the spec, right? And let's see if that works out or not. I'm not saying that this is kind of the whole thing, but like a holy grail system, but it does do the job. Spaghetti charts are really, really informative to know what projects are actually outperforming Bitcoin, and that's basically what you want to do. Otherwise, just hold Bitcoin. You know what I mean? That's kind of, in a way, the whole narrative around the market. This one here, Camino is actually coming back. So we are on Camino, by the way, already. So yeah. So what I've seen here is obviously TRX as well, is TRX and all the ecosystem is, you might do really, really well. So if you look at TRX, let's have a look at TRX. This thing is like, it's kind of beating, man. Like it's not stopping at all, like all-time highs, and it keeps going up, right? So
You know why, dude?
why? What's the why?
The entire Russian and
Oh,
Ukrainian diaspora and the Chinese money laundering industry about getting money out of all those three various countries, 100% TRX chain. Like on my street here in Phuket, we have three different businesses with like Russian language signs and a Bitcoin symbol to a USDT symbol and TRX symbols. You can, you can't have a Visa or a MasterCard or a bank account if you're a Russian, but you can fucking send any of these places USDT on TRX chain and they'll give you a sack full of cash, like $1 million worth right now. Like,
and I don't see that this, especially if we hit the beginning of the bull run, I don't think that this one will stop. I think definitely this one will continue on, right? So on the back of that, right, we have all these, all these ecosystem, right? Like all the stuff that happens on Tron ecosystem. So we had Sun, the Sun coin, right? Like, and this is kind of like the same thing as the Sun Pump. Sorry, the Pump Down Fund on Solana, but this is the on the Tron ecosystem. So I'm tracking this one because I do think that this could be a really good option as well. I think this one will continue moving forward, and there is a highly likelihood.
What do you think about Radium, which I bought a couple of weeks ago?
Oh, Radium. I think it'll continue. Yeah, definitely. As long Solana keep pumping and as long memes keep pumping in terms of everything, Ray still solid, man. Like
let's have a quick look at Ray compared to Jupe and because those are, I mean, that's been a fucking great trade, right?
Definitely. Yeah, this is our entry on. Yeah,
we bought it in anticipation of the breakout, which happened. And so for those of you who aren't perhaps great experienced traders, when we buy in anticipation of a breakout, what you want to see, which doesn't happen every time, is that breakout to really rip and run away from it, to force other people to chase. And that's what we saw here. The pullback, every pullback was bought. Those, we were limited to 1 day down, couple of days down pullbacks. That's exactly what you want to see. There's no reason to get out of that.
Definitely. Jupe, I think Jupe will have his days still, but yeah, definitely Ray is now the leader, right? In terms of the exchanges, like in terms of the ecosystem that they have. But Jupe, I think, because we're in Jupe as well. I think we are right on break even on Jupe. But Jupe I think will definitely hit all-time highs. If he hits all-time highs, there is a highly likelihood that it will break hard. I think there is a lot of backers from Jupe, but there is a lot of things that Jupe is doing in terms of ecosystem and getting developers. So that could be. I'm still holding Jupe. I think Jupe could do well, but Ray is doing fantastic, man. Like definitely is the winner in terms of those. In terms of
pump funds pumping memes, pump funds, Radium's making all kinds of money off pump fund. It just seems like a no-brainer to me.
Yeah. So so that's let me finish it. So from the Tron ecosystem, we went into Sundock around here, something like that, and I think Sundock is still a long way to go. Sundock was the biggest meme on Tron when the Sun ecosystem was actually launched. So at here, right, on the 24th of August, Sundock was the biggest meme, right? Now you have another memes like Suncat, and look at this, dump. You have Fofa, dump. You have Moncat, dump. But Sundock is the only one that is sort of had reaction to it. So this is my bet for the next, for which one is going to be the leader on Tron. That's why we went into this one. I was thinking about doing a leverage, and this one was too risky. I think I did, and I got to stop that. Never mind. But yeah, I went on spot. So I think, yeah, if you guys went into straight, I think the straight is going to do well, and it's already doing well. We're up like 20% on this one. So, and I think I'll hold it. We might get we might get choppiness, but if we do get a comeback or another entry, you might start adding. If you didn't add on this one, you can start sort of adding a little bit here, but I think this one could. Once we break this structure up, I think it will be clear skies from this one. So yeah, man, what else I can tell you? You can buy pretty much everything right now, and everything is gonna go up, right? Like that's kind of the whole game. Todd, perhaps will always be looking for the new hot chicks on campus. Yes, Todd, definitely. So that's the thing. That's the whole thing about, that's the whole thesis on crypto this time. So I think we can say that there will be a lot of good plays, man. So I'm going to be adding more capital into my portfolio right now because this is time to do it. And I'm going to start doing like this week, I'll be telling you about the micro caps or small caps on AI sector that we'll be looking at. Hopefully we position ourselves prior the NVIDIA, but have that in mind that if the NVIDIA thing doesn't play out, like those things could actually get a pullback, but that doesn't mean that that sector is still going. It's not going to be hot. I think that sector is going to be hot this year. That could be the new narrative. Could be. I'm not seeing any like narratives that are going to stand out, but the only narrative that is standing out at the moment, obviously, is memes, and now RWS on the back of that massive pump that just had yesterday. So we'll see, man. Like pretty exciting. It will be a lot of interesting trades in the next couple of days, man. Couple of weeks, couple of months, I guess, right? So yeah, I'll be really active on this thing. Like I've been doing this. Yes, been a lot of opportunity, and this weekend was interesting to do like small time trading and stuff like that. But then yeah. Besides that, that's it, guys. That's all I have for today. There's gonna be tracking the market is quite hard, right? What do you do? What do you track? You track memes, you track Peps, you track so that's kind of the situation. You want to track everything, but yeah, where you focus, like I'm focusing on really good solid plays. So yeah. Which,
You're
by the way,
focusing on really good solid plays. I'm focusing on the worst shit in the world too.
I know, and I think that's but that's good. That's a good mix because that's sort of paid out. Like if we go, let's have a look at all our leverage trades, right? Like this is all our leverage trades. So we still, let's go through it. So people, if you guys are still on these trades, I'm still on this trade. So MNT, I'm still on. MNT, I told you it's gonna fucking rip, and I think it's going to be really good. MNT in the back of all the thing they're doing with Mantle. So we're still good on that one. Say, look at this one. We're still on Say. I think Say is not going to stop, to be honest. It's looking fantastic. Popcat, we're still in Popcat, right? This thing is not going to stop. APT, doing great. Look at this thing, man. Like we were really well positioned here. Drift, I think Drift is my best. Like this is, oh shit, man. I cannot, like Drift, look at this shit, man. Like, yeah. And Dodge. I think Dodge is actually even better than Drift. Obviously, it was like we took it here. Right?
I think Dodge is the first one of the first things that normies come and buy.
Definitely.
I think this is just like, oh, I'm gonna buy some Dogecoin. It's so cheap. It's only a cent or whatever, and
I agree. And there's this thing already. People talking about the possibility of ETF, the Dodge ETF. Can that happen? Who knows, man? Like with Elon Musk driving and Trump, anything can happen. So that crypto could get really crazy, right? Could get really crazy to the direction. So obviously I'm still holding Dodge. Order, It's not looking like I was expecting to look. I haven't taken any profits in here yet, guys, by the way. So I'm still holding this one. There's a highly likelihood that when we start getting the hyperliquid airdrop and all this sort of stuff, I think order could actually benefit on that in terms of all the trading that's going to happen on the back of that. So we are still on spec. So spec is actually right there. I think spec is, we nearly got it stopped out on Friday. That was on Friday, on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday we had a little pullback. And Rune, we're still on Rune, half of the position. So still there. Rune, I think, has a great way. So in terms of what we have no risk whatsoever. We took already some profit. We already 3x our account on 3x. Yeah, 3x or 4x. Something like that on the Pep stuff. And yeah, not much that I can say about it. So far so good, man. So far so good.
So I want to talk a little bit about some bullshit coins while we're here.
Yep, so far.
The ones that I'm getting lots of questions about, Peanut, I don't really like this at $1.7 billion market cap. You're buying at 1.7 thinking that it's going to last. This is not right. I wouldn't own this. The same with GOAT at 1.25 billion. I mean, I miss these, so there's a little bit of like whatever, but the volumes here at these levels seem, I wouldn't be touching either of those. Let me look at my main watch list. Billy, I don't like at all. I think that there's a lot of bag holders in here. So this is some custom data that I'm experimenting with at the moment. So this is, you remember the NUPL, Maurizio, from like 2021, right?
Yeah.
Worked really well until everyone figured it out, until everyone had access to it. Then it stopped working right when we needed it.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm doing is I've got a bit of a theory that this shit, when you apply it to meme coins where no one else can get the data, is probably pretty valuable. And you can see that the highest NUPL, where everyone was in the most profit, was the top. And the average holder is underwater here. Like no one gets excited when the average holder is underwater. When we compare it to, say, Giga, what you can see is that generally the tops were 54.95, 54, 53, 52. The tops are when everyone's making so much money.
That's interesting. Makes a lot of freaking
cool,
sense.
right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to read Peanut here. Yeah, I've got to run some numbers on all of this stuff.
Mm.
But you can see it's not bad at starting to find tops. And Zero Bro, this is one I really don't like.
Mm.
Everyone at 58%. Where did they get to? 57%. And where is Retardio? So Retardio is exhibiting the same behavior. Tops are spikes in profitability, 46, 51. Where are we now? Where everyone's in profit. The average holder is not threatened like they are with Billy. I think this is a good sign. Average holders still wildly in profit in Flog. Stupid fucking thing, but I think this is probably pretty reasonable. Pretty reasonable data. I've got to run some proper quanting on it, but that's where I'm at. Things that I'm looking at right now, I like lock in. Even though all of these cult coins have had a pullback, so lock in, Giga had the fat finger down here, Retardio as well.
I really like Giga. There was the massive.
Yeah, I like it too.
There is a reason why. There is
It was
a
a
reason
hack.
why. No, I don't know about the hack, mate. Well, there is a reason that there is a thing going around saying that Giga has lock supply, things like that. And actually Giga doesn't have any lock supply, so they're pretty transparent and all that sort of stuff. So I think that's probably why you got that thing, but I'm not sure about the hack. I'll find out.
The one that I really like is Fartcoin. If we see it on a 4-hour chart, you can see there's a very persistent bid in any pullback, very persistent bid. This is not natural for a coin this size. This is almost certainly a centralized exchange accumulating a wallet before they list it. So if you see this type of price action, just a steady march, you know that sooner or later it's going to be listed on a big exchange. And I think Fartcoin, it's a meme coin that doesn't need a meme. Like everyone, immediately you get it. Oh, Fartcoin, get it? I'm making money on Fartcoin. Like it's actually kind of funny. Like the fact that it goes up and then you're making money on Fartcoin and it's called Fartcoin. It's like I think that's enough. It's
yeah. Oh man.
It's sucking all the smell out of the room, you know. It's like I think this is going to be a breakout hit to $1 billion. Is what I think. Other ones that I'm holding, this one not looking great. I mean, it's okay. Like it's going up. Bought it here. It's going up. It's higher than I bought it. I want to see some action. And this one seems to be the coordinated pump of the day. But it's mintable, so we don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah.
You can see this is a very coordinated effort to drive this thing in one direction, right? Yeah. That's basically all I got for today, other than Solana. Like Solana at 237. Let's look at it on the monthly chart. Once it gets above 260, it's like off and running, right? It's in price discovery. So this is this is the height of Sam Bankman-Fried being on top of the world.
Yep.
At 267, and we're at 237 now. That's a big deal.
I think so, and I think if it breaks, I think it could quickly trigger the bull run. Because think about it from the perspective, Solana now is a big driver of the meme sector, right? And there is a lot of ecosystem that drive very correlated with Solana. So I think that could be the catalyst for everything to just go ballistic. That could be. That's something that I've been following. You know what I mean? In terms of like what could be the trigger of everything going parabolic, right? Which is basically what we want to see. Is I think Solana breaking all-time highs. That I think so could be one. Yeah.
This sunny bullshit that we bought around 2,400 yesterday. What did I actually buy it for? Let me check. Actually, I won't do that here. Yeah, it was around here. You see it got a little pump. They're defending it again. This one still looks okay to me. I would want to be out. You would think that. So let me show you how I do this. So I'm looking at the top traders. I'm looking at the top traders with unrealized gains. And then I'm looking at what is their balance, who's still got a lot of unrealized gains to realize. And you can see that this guy's been trying to push it into price discovery and failing, and then buying it here to push it into price discovery, then selling out on a pump. Buy it here and then sell out on a pump. It's clear that they're doing the same thing again. So I would expect selling to start probably in this range. So I would want to be out before then, which is like an easy 2x.
Mhm.
Yeah, other than that, I think it's going to be a great week. Don't overtrade, guys. This is not a time to overtrade. This is not a time to be zigging and zagging a lot. This is a time to have confidence and commitments in the bags that you're holding. Hold the strong coins. Don't spread it out too much. If you're talking about spreading it out beyond 10 or 15 coins, you probably can't follow those closely. Pick your best 10. And if you're looking for things to prune from your portfolio, here's how you do it. Just load up Bitcoin, go back to the last low, which is I've got marked with a vertical line. And then, do I sell BNB? Yeah, you do. It's behaved like a bucket of shit. Do I sell AR, which I held before? Do I sell HNT? Yeah, I do. These things aren't capturing any attention at all. If I look at, like an amalgamation of large cap memes, Sui, Radium, Doge, Popcat, Mog, ENA, WIF, ADA, Tau, Pendle, SEI, Solana. These are the things you want to keep. The rest you want to dump. That's basically it.
That's awesome. See you in the group. Thanks, everyone.
All right. See you guys.
All right, guys.